Well, hello there, folks. I'm RGB from RJBTV, and today, GangnamLife 458, two respectable fellows facing off in what should be a pretty good best of set here. Terran against Protoss. GangnamLife on the Terran, of course, because 458 pretty much always on the Protoss. Here on the top right of the map, 458 on the Teal Protoss. They're having a little bit of a chat. I'm sure that there's no bad manners involved because GangnamLife is, as I said before, a very respectable fellow. He's a nice guy. Although he does try to stay out of the limelight. He doesn't really like to be very well known. He's a very secretive guy. Nobody really knows much about him. Except that he is really good at fastest map 1 versus 1. He's one of the OG, the original gangsters of the 1 versus 1 in Korea. He was one of the first Gosus in 1v1. Other people have, by now, caught up to GangnamLife's skill level. That is a given. It always happens. The more time passes, people will catch up and surpass you. But he still hangs with the best. Actually, in the year 2021, maybe even 2022, there was a fastest map tournament that had JH, Lee Baku, Ryan Teacher, Duram, Biol, and a couple of other names involved, and GangnamLife won the tournament by beating JH and by beating Biol. And they beat another person in the first round, but it goes to say, he beat JH and Biol, who are considered to be some of the best fastest map 1v1 players of all time. They're both very highly skilled, and he beat up both of them quite convincingly. He won pretty handily. So that's what we're looking at with GangnamLife, a player who is very, very smart, a lot of experience, has great mechanics under his belt as well, and here facing off against arguably one of the most dangerous Protoss players in the world, 458. I don't think GangnamLife is going to be scared of him though. I do not think he has fear running through his veins. He's got courage and confidence running in his blood. Well, I'm saying that, but I honestly just don't know. I'm just making things up. As we go. I do have a little bit of knowledge about the guy, but not that much. So 458 doing the standard corner build order. Pylon on 8 supply, then when the pylon finishes the gateway, I'm sorry. Allow me to correct myself. I am going the entire wrong direction with my build order description. He goes for a pylon, then a nexus, then a forge, a pylon in the choke, a gateway, double gas, and a cannon in the choke. And he's getting triple gateway now, which is something that we don't often see, but it does happen a little bit more frequently than other build orders. It's always one gateway into robotics and Citadel of a Dune, or 2 gateways or 3 gateways. It's kind of just like, that's the options you've got on this opening. The gateways, he's probably going to go for Dragoons with Dragoon range. I see Dragoon range being queued up there inside that Cybernetics core. I see a Dragoon queued up there in the gateway as well. He's only making 1 Dragoon. He's not yet making... Oh, there are the other 2. So yes, he's definitely going for Dragoons. And when the first Dragoon steps out of the gateway to kill the SCV, GangnamLife will prepare himself for the Dragoon build order. He also saw the Singularity charge there, upgrading for 458. That of course means that he knows that this has to be a Dragoon build order. There's not really any efficient adaptations at this point that would allow 458 to change his mind and go for something else. He has to go for Dragoons. Going to try to do some harassment in the front of GangnamLife's base. Hotkey GangnamLife's base. Went for triple command center after scouting the choke by 458. And then get the bunker, got the factory. So yeah, both players are boosting up their economies quite nicely. 458 starts building on the middle of the map. He's not planning on building back at home. He wants everything that he needs close to his opponent. Now, is he going to build his robos here, or is he going to build his gateways here? two directions you can go. Two separate directions. He's getting zealot speed. He's getting zealot speed. This looks a little bit familiar to me. Looks a little bit familiar to me. So gateway is coming down. And Dragoon's there hitting the bunkers in the front, but turns around. Does not want a piece of this cake. Not yet. Does not want a piece of this cake yet. Well, it's not that he can. When there's bunkers with range, marine range, the Dragoons cannot really fight into that. Now, he doesn't have marine range yet. He's still upgrading it. 4 of 8 finishes his own Dragoon range on the Dragoons. He could, if he wanted to, start poking his head in and start damaging those bunkers. And he's preparing for that, I feel. So more Dragoons coming across the map. He's going to go for just pure gateways. He's getting shield upgrade first, which is something I don't like. And many people would agree with me that it's probably better to get either armor or weapon, not shield. But he's getting shield. He's getting shield upgrade first. There's a scan coming out there from GangnamLife. Scans the entire base. Sees that some structures are missing. There's a whole lot of stuff missing in this base. There's no robos. There's a lot of gateways. So something is wrong. But he doesn't know about the gateways there on the middle yet. His choke at the moment is a little bit weak. He is expecting drops because 458 is the shuttle drop man. He's expecting shuttle drops, but they're not gonna be coming. They're not gonna be coming. It's as simple as it gets, a frontal gateway attack. Tank in the front, Marines ready. He's waiting for something. He's waiting for shuttles, probably with reavers, but it's gonna be a... I don't know if this is really gonna catch him by surprise that much. He doesn't know it's coming, but he is somewhat prepared as a pretty good choke. SCV scouts it, so actually finds it, and now the attack happens, and he can't get through because there's two tanks with a lot of depots as well. He's going to try to brute force his way through. Marines from the back, walk to the front. He needs a little bit more forces there in the front, but no, it looks like he's going to be fine. It looks like it's going to be fine. The defenses are just strong enough. 4 of 8 sending in more units. He's going to try to keep on brute forcing, but Marines arrive, forced to turn around. That attack was not what he had in mind. He was really hoping that GangnamLife didn't fortify his choke as well as he did. 4 of 8 knew something was up. When he scanned the base and saw that there was nothing in the base, he assumed something was up. And he assumed correctly. So now he's delaying getting air defense because he knows that 458 probably does not have any air attacks ready anytime soon. So GangnamLife wisely focusing on just boosting up the economy, getting a slightly bigger army, getting his armories for upgrades. Now he's putting his Marines on the sides here though, because even though the likeliness of 458 already having drops is low, GangnamLife knows that he shouldn't be taking the risk. So building a bigger, stronger wall. There's a turret there in the middle, supply depots on the side, a pretty good wall here in the front. Shield is finished there for 458. He's still producing a lot of zealots. He's got 2 starports on the way back home. He's got 2 robos as well. 1 forge, that's robo number 3. He's going to switch over into drops. It looks like he's going to switch over into drops. He realized, and we too realized, and we realized before he did, that his strategy probably was not going to have that much success. A lot of scans coming down. A lot of scans coming down. He scanned... Oh, I clicked on the wrong person. He scanned the sides here looking for proxy bases. So yeah, he knows. GangnamLife knows that 4 of 8 is proxy building somewhere on the map. Little does he know, it's exactly on the middle. So we are getting air attack and tank attack upgrades. So I expect that GangnamLife will go for either raids or Valkyries to defend against shuttle drops. GangnamLife progressed really quickly, ordered an 84 SCVs. That's really quick. Also because he didn't get attacked or harmed or harassed that much. Everything has been kind of cool, smooth sailing for GangnamLife so far. This game hasn't really been under a decisive threat, although there's a maxed out army here hanging in the middle couple of Templars in the mix. Shuttles there waiting to pick up some Templars. 458 is ready to start hitting really, really hard. He's prepared. He put on the boxing gloves, put on his dentures. What do you call the thing? Your mouth protector, your teeth protector, your mouth guard. The thing you put in your mouth when you're a boxer and you don't want to break your tooth or your teeth. That thing. It's a mouth guard, I think. Anyway, he geared up. He geared up for combat. And GangnamLife himself also pretty much all geared up and ready to go. Maxed out supply on both sides. GangnamLife a little bit smaller on the production side of things. Getting a couple more factories, getting a science vessel as well for EMP and our Templars. There's going to be cannons on the middle here from 458. He's putting the pylons into position, start building cannons all over the place. Big drop there being sent to the side, waiting for the shuttle speed. Level 1 attack armor and level 2 shield are on the way. Getting Templar energy as well, so that means he has Storm. You have EMP on the way there for GangnamLife. Lifting up those barracks is going to put them on the sides. Both players are kind of just into the building mode. They're just kind of building, preparing for a late game showdown of epic proportions coming over the right side. But the turrets there are enough to defend. Storm kills a large ball of Marines, but at this point, GangnamLife does not care about that ball of Marines dying on the corner because he needs a couple more tanks and maybe some anti-air, and losing the Marines helps him with doing that. One Marine there on the side for the Storm dodge against drops. Cannons being built there on the sides to keep GangnamLife contained and take away his vision. 458 did build a couple more structures inside of his base. Level 1 attack finished, level 1 armor almost finished up. We have level 1 attack on the tanks finished, level 2 is on the way. Can't quite see the air upgrades yet because he doesn't have anything in the air that can attack. Yeah, he progressed really quickly. We're 12 minutes in, base is full, both players are ready to fight. And I've been saying that they're ready to fight for the last 2 minutes, but they haven't really pulled the trigger yet. They're just looking at each other, standing there, menacingly looking the other in the eye, but there we go, time for the attack. Shuttle comes in over the front, unloading behind the wall. He could have gone for the drop on the minerals, but I don't think a drop on the minerals would have worked with every single unit he has located in the back. He's going to break through the front door. That's a large, big army, and all the tanks have died. They're all here in the back waiting for a drop, but it's not a drop. It's a simple, proven, old strategy. The frontal attack move. The frontal attack move, Storm coming down there on the Marines, forced to retreat into a better position there behind, in between those gateways, in between his factories and depots. Gateway units are coming from across the left and the right and the front, trying to penetrate through into the backside and do some real harm. But I think GangnamLife will be fine, although this army there is, you know, it's killing the frontal portion of GangnamLife's base. So after all, after those first 12 minutes of basically inaction from both sides, we have ourselves a real fight here inside of GangnamLife's base. A location he'd rather would not have a fight in, but the fight is happening in his base. Now, a lot of tanks in the back. He should be fine, but everything in the front is in danger. Drop there coming in. A lot of Marines went down, so the drop should be having an easy time hitting him, although there might not be anything inside. It's empty. It's actually empty, so he gets to the finish line, but there's nothing inside. Another one comes in. This one might be real. It is real. Supply count in favor of 458 starts unloading the Templars. Templars on the scene. Templars getting sniped before they can storm because there were not enough zealots to take fire away from the Templars. They died too quick. New tanks are spawning. Starports are under attack. 458 is making this strategy work. It turns out that sometimes you don't need to hit those storm drops. Sometimes you just have to do a very well executed frontal attack and break the front door down and start just throwing the furniture against the wall, start pulling down the painting, start throwing the television against the wall, and start breaking everything you can find in the house. Templar storms on the scene, does storm almost SCVs as if he's running to safety. Gets 8 kills, better than nothing, but not much. Actually, those 8 kills probably help GangnamLife get into a better position with his worker count. Yeah, he's stabilizing. He's stabilizing, winning back the terrain in his own base, slowly pushing forward. Slowly pushing forward. I've cast this game before, about almost 2.5 years ago. I just wanted to confirm that. But I feel that this one could use a recast by accident. I didn't plan on it. I went through my replay folders and selected a lot of replays and put them into another folder, and I said I'm gonna cast all these games in this folder over the next year. That's what I did. I did cast this game before, but oh boy, so far it's a good one. And that drop did hit him pretty hard. Not what he was, not something GangnamLife really wanted to see happen. Loses SCVs at a pretty bad time. His economy is pretty low. He still has 52, 53, but losing about 30 SCVs on the minerals, that hurts her income a lot. He does have a big army though, so he doesn't have to replace anything except those SCVs. But he is kind of occupied trying to survive. He's occupied trying to defend. If he can get one more storm off, he could have maybe peeled the frontal layer of tanks away a little bit. Now 458 has entered his trademark 458 non-stop continuous assault type of play. He's entered his continuous assault type of play. And he's not really building anything on the map. Like, there's some cannons coming up, but it's not a whole lot of cannons. Isn't building any more gateways, isn't building any more stargates. He's just going for the mass production, mass produce, the non-stop shuttle attacks, non-stop gateways attack, getting all the upgrades, just attacking non-stop. Every single little bit of his attention, all of his actions are going into trying to produce and attack to make sure that GangnamLife does not get a moment to breathe. Because the one downside of using your actions on building more structures when you maybe don't need them is that the opponent gets more time to recover, build up, mine minerals, and stabilize. That is the trademark 458 style. Never ever give the opponent more than 30 seconds or 20 seconds to recover from the previous attack. Sometimes he attacks while the previous attack is still happening. Great unload there on the SCVs, gets 8 kills, gets a couple more, gets another 20. Really good unloads from that shuttle. Zealots just taking those SCVs down with them. It's a really good thing to have as just a move, just a small little trick you can use when you don't have any Templars, but you have a shuttle and some Zealots. Put those Zealots in there and unload them on top of the SCVs, and the tanks will do the rest. And it's working. GangnamLife 130 supply, he's hurting, he's bleeding, he's bruised and battered, black and blue. He's been taking some pretty bad punches, but he's still standing. He's still standing, but look at this, not even 20 seconds have passed, and another wave of Zealots already coming in to try and make sure that GangnamLife is always occupied, rebuilding and recovering. He's got 5 command centers though, so he's recovering pretty quickly with the SCV count, but the army size is small. 135 supply, units coming from the front door all the time. Templar walking forward, is just walking in there, almost got in. Oh, drop comes in at the same time. Templar is ready to storm, Templar does storm, and Templar gets 25 kills. 28 kills even. So yeah, this goes to show that 458's style of let's just stop building gateways and stargates and just attack all the damn time. It works, and this is actually one of the very best examples of 458 in absolute tip-top supreme shape. He is really just pulling off these attacks flawlessly. The front, the sides, he's targeting individual units, making individual choices, microing left and right, sending, producing, storming, hitting, pushing, and killing, everything all at the same time. He's now unloading on the tanks in the back. And he's pushing forward, Templars ready to storm, they're getting dangerously close, storming on the tanks, taking them down, taking them all down. It's a double storm on the tanks. And he wins the game after a continuous 7 minutes of non-stop assault and battery. That was absolutely disgusting play from 458. That is almost unbeatable Protoss against Terran. That was really, really exceptionally well played. Well, that was game number 1. Tomorrow is going to be game number 2. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I do want to switch over into another series instead of casting the entire set of games between these two again. But I do think this game was worth it. This game, the recast, in my opinion, entirely worth it. This was a great game. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure you did as well. Here's a very quick look at what everything that 458 built on the map. Most of the things 458 has on the map here, all the structures, most of it was built before 12 minutes. Except these cannons right here. This is all he built over the last 7 minutes. He's just been producing and producing, sending, microing, and attacking for the past 7 minutes. And GangnamLife, despite being an amazing player, could not keep up. That's it for game number 1, and I'm gonna call it a day. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon, my friends. Have a great day.